Hello and welcome to Fire Safety The Facts. Over the next few minutes we'll show you what should be done in the event of a fire in the place where you work. We'll explain the facts behind fire safety, which if followed will make your workplace safer for all. Every year fire claims hundreds of lives and also costs the country hundreds of millions of pounds. However, the number of fatalities as a result of fires have steadily declined in recent years, thanks in the main to a greater awareness of fire safety. Many of the existing laws regarding fire safety at work have followed serious fires. Employers must provide regular and adequate fire safety training for staff. This includes fire drills, which must be carried out on a regular basis. Employers are also required to provide adequate means of escape. Fire exit signs must be easy to see, and fire doors must be fitted where appropriate. Fire safety equipment such as alarms, hose reels, smoke or heat detectors, extinguishers and sprinklers must always be properly maintained by a specialist contractor. In addition, all employees must know the whereabouts of fire alarms, fire exits and extinguishers because no two buildings are the same. All premises should have their own fire safety procedure. Make sure you know what to do if there's a fire where you work. Fire instruction notices like these, which must be prominently displayed, will tell you what to do. If you're not sure about the procedure at your establishment, don't be afraid to ask. If you were to discover a fire at work, would you know what to do? Your immediate reaction might well be to try and put it out, but from a safety point of view, this isn't a good idea. No matter how small the fire, the first step must be to raise the alarm by, for instance, breaking the glass of the nearest fire call point. Would you know how to raise the alarm in your premises? Of course, it may well be that the alarm has been activated by smoke or heat detectors, but whatever the case, it's crucial that everyone knows where the alarms are. You probably pass them every day without really noticing them or knowing how to set them off. Once the alarm is sounding, the next vital step is for the fire brigade to be called.
Scarf Engineering, Unit 6.
It's important then that one particular member of staff is made permanently responsible for this task, with someone else to take over in case of absence. Everyone should know whose responsibility this is. Do you?
Fire in production area.
So the alarm has been raised and the fire brigade is on its way. The next thing is to get out of the building. Once again, the first reaction may well be one of panic, but it's essential that everyone is well drilled in how to leave the building in a calm manner. If there's time, close windows and switch off anything that may be dangerous if left, and then just go. Walk, don't run, and don't stop to collect personal belongings. Remember to close any fire doors behind you as you go and make sure you're familiar with the escape routes or fire exits. People with disabilities may also need assistance during an evacuation. Would you know how to help? Once the building has been evacuated, staff fire wardens or a designated person will check the building for anyone missing without endangering themselves. Escape routes and fire exits should always be kept clear. Don't store things in corridors or on fire escapes. It could prove fatal. And remember that fire doors are there for a purpose. They're very efficient at preventing a fire from spreading, so don't keep them wedged open. Just to recap then, when you hear the fire bell, don't assume it's a false alarm. Stay calm. If there's time, close windows and switch off any equipment. Leave straight away without stopping to collect personal belongings. Don't run. Go straight to your fire assembly point using the relevant escape route. But what about the fire itself? Should you try to tackle it to stop it spreading further? Well, the simple answer is only if doing so won't put yourself or others in danger. It's worth remembering that if the fire is bigger than the average waste paper bin, it's probably safer leaving it to the professionals. If you decide to try and tackle a small fire, then it's crucial to know which type of extinguisher to use. For instance, if you use a water extinguisher to try and fight an electrical fire, the result may very well be fatal.
Quick, Paul, the computer's on fire. Raise the alarm.
So, if a fire should start in any electrical equipment, the first priority should be to try and shut off its power supply. A CO2 fire extinguisher has a funnel-shaped head, which should be directed into the back of and around the equipment. Fire is created through a combination of three elements: heat, fuel, and oxygen. Take one of these away from any of the other two and you will prevent and restrict the fire. One of the most unpredictable and hazardous elements threatening our safety is fire. It's dangerous and it can kill. We'll now have a look at the correct way to use various extinguishers. This staff fire safety training session helps us to understand the correct way to use this equipment.
Break the tag off, slide the pin out and point at the base of the fire. You're trying to get at the heat source which is being directed from the base there.
This is the correct way to use a water-filled extinguisher. Let's have a look at how to use a CO2 extinguisher.
Walk into it about here, aim at the leading edge of the tray and fire it off. Puts the fire out by displacing the oxygen.
This is a foam-filled extinguisher being demonstrated.
Break your seal off, slide the pin out, free the hose, aim it at the back corner of the tray and create a foam blanket. The fire will be suffocated.
Here we see a dry powder extinguisher being correctly demonstrated.
Displaces the oxygen, the fire goes out.
The works kitchen also has its hazards. A fire in, for instance, a chip pan is best tackled with a fire blanket, which should be kept within easy reach. It should be fully unfolded and placed directly over the flames, turning off the gas or electricity as quickly as possible. Next, let's have a look at the sort of fire that can arise in an office environment.
Gareth, can you raise the alarm? There's a fire.
Once again, a swift response is essential. The first thing must be to raise the alarm. The water extinguisher has a safety pin, and the jet should be aimed directly at the base of the flames. Keep the jet moving across the area of the fire. Seek out any hot spots after the fire is extinguished. Let's recap then on the different types of fire extinguishers to use. Remember, they should only be used if the fire is small enough to be tackled. And don't forget to check you can escape if necessary. From the 1st of January 1997, all new BSI approved extinguishers have been coloured red and display the following symbols. A Class A extinguisher is suitable for wood, paper, textiles and any carbonaceous materials. Class B extinguishers can be used on fires involving flammable liquids. Class C extinguishers should be used for flammable gases. Electrical fires can be tackled using a CO2 or dry powder extinguisher. However, this legislation is not retrospective, and the following coloured extinguishers, shown on the right, will still be in use. Fire extinguishers containing water are the most common extinguishers in use, but it's unsafe to use them on flammable liquids, gases and live electrical equipment. Direct the water at the base of the fire following the direction of the flames. A dry powder extinguisher is suitable for most types of fires. However, it creates a mess when used and therefore is not ideally suited to an office environment. It sprays dry powder under pressure and the fire should be smothered using quick sweeping movements. CO2 extinguishers are also suitable for flammable liquids and electrical fires, used in a sweeping movement to displace the oxygen and put the fire out. Extinguishers containing foam have the same application as water extinguishers, as well as being suitable for fires involving flammable liquids. At this stage, let's assume the evacuation of the building is underway. Everyone must go to a predetermined assembly point. Do you know where yours is? It's important that you know. At the point itself, someone must have the task of taking a roll call or counting heads.
David Hardman, Alan Edwards, Stan Leather.
It's important that no one returns to the building until it's been declared safe to do so. So let's recap on what to do if you discover a fire. The first step is to raise the alarm to alert other staff. Make sure you know what type of alarms are used in your workplace and, above all, where they are. Next, the fire brigade will be called. This will be done by someone permanently responsible for this task. Everybody should know who this person is. Make sure you do. If you hear the alarm, assume it's a real fire, not a practice. Don't panic. If there's time, switch off any equipment and close windows. Leave the building calmly. Don't stop to collect belongings, and remember not to run. Make sure you know the whereabouts of fire exits and escapes. Make sure you know where your fire assembly point is and go straight there. During the evacuation, staff fire wardens will search the building. A roll call will then be taken to check that there's no one missing. You mustn't go back in until you're told it's safe to do so. As for the fire itself, only attempt to put it out if it won't put you or others in danger. If it's larger than an average waste paper bin, it's best to leave it to the fire brigade. If you do decide to tackle it, be sure you're using the correct extinguisher for the type of fire. You'll already know where the extinguishers are. So there you have it. You now know what to do in case fire breaks out in the place where you work. We hope we've been able to reassure you that the discovery can be dealt with calmly and efficiently. If everybody follows the correct procedures and is aware of what to do in case of fire, it'll make the premises where you work a safer place to be.